Not sure you can see this strip. Going out there, slightly green in between here and here. This is out here where the cows made that muddy mess a few months back. And it's actually recovered far better than I thought it would. It's a pain for me to walk on because it's so lumpy, bumpy with holes, but right there, that track, that is where the cows had walked up and down. Oh, look, a little snake. I just lost it. Here it is. A little garter snake. That's where the cows had walked back and forth and made that trench. And I had spread, there's some chicory growing right here. That I had come out here and spread some extra clover seed and some of this Japanese millet in a mix, and some oats and peas and stuff, just to kind of fill in the blanks, some warm season annuals that I thought would help cover this. And that is what that is. That has taken in that rut, and also some weeds. But that's good because that's for them to eat, and they'll eat this now and they'll continue to grow until frost. So that is good. In fact, now that I look in the sunlight, you can see little lighter green shoots coming up. That's the Japanese millet. So I think we're supposed to get rain today or tomorrow. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. We've yet to have had more than a quarter inch, more than a few tenths of an inch actually, in a long time. So I think it was the 25th, 26th of June, so almost a month. And it hadn't rained much before then. So I know that I threw down some urea on the hay fields, on the silage fields, just before a rain, just after I cut. So I know that I've got a date where I baled on the 26th. So it certainly wasn't raining then. And I know that I threw some urea down immediately on those fields, which means it must have rained to some degree, and the urea washed in and took. But we haven't had any. We've had a couple of light showers that were gone in minutes. And the ground is desperately dry. The grass isn't growing. So we have to get rain, or next rotation will be non-existent. And we'll be feeding even more silage. I may have said this before, and I know that crabgrass is disparaged in lawns for some reason, but this crabgrass out here is fantastic. I love seeing it. It comes in with the summer heat and provides a mat across this section that the cows walk back and forth, this lane that I create that goes all the way to the end of the field, along the edge of the field, fence edge. And it's just persistent and matting and durable. And it's also nutritious for the cows. There are some improved varieties. I was going to try and get, they were sold out, this variety of crabgrass called Mojo, which is supposed to produce a lot of volume if you let it grow. Now here, the trampling and the cows constantly nibbling it causes it to stay short and low, but at least this isn't a muddy, bare track. It is not as hot today as it was yesterday. It was over 100 with the humidity yesterday when I was working on the baler. Today, temperatures in the high 80s. Humidity's broken, but it's got a feel of like 95 or something. So I am cleaning out the barn. The barn flooded the other day. When I was, we came down and the barn was flooding. The float valve stuck wide open. cows must have jostled it with their horns or something, I don't know. Anyway, so what had been a nice cleanish floor with some dried manure spread across it, which isn't horrendous, was a swollen, soupy, sodden mess. But we've been slammed. That was on Saturday. Saturday was, unbeknownst to us, Saturday was an open farm day, and we had scheduled to participate in the open farm day happening on Sunday. Didn't realize it was going to be a 2-day weekend event this year. Had no intention of participating on Saturday because we had a private event here at the farm Saturday afternoon. So we were a little surprised to find out that we were in the paper for being an open farm on Saturday, and we found out because we were getting to milking late and trying to deal with figure out why the barn was so wet and flooding, and all these people started showing up, wanting a tour of the farm, wanting to see cheese making, wanted to see all kinds of things we weren't even going to do on the Sunday. So that was a bit of a surprise. So then we actually had the open farm Sunday. So we got ready for that. Well, we made do Saturday, and we made do on the Saturday, got through that. It lasted until about 3 in the afternoon, and we had to start catching up on all the stuff and chores that didn't happen Saturday. Plus, we were dang exhausted, and it was hot. Sunday, we got ready for open farm day and the scheduled things we were going to do. Not that many people showed up, so that ate up all of Sunday. Monday, I went off to get the parts for the baler, and again, there was a bunch of other stuff I had to do and got back here late. Meanwhile, the barn was starting to dry out nicely, so it was kind of worthwhile. It's still a slushy mess. Because the cows have been in here because it's been hot the last few days. They've been coming into the barn to use the facilities, as it were, and get water. So the barn's starting to dry out. It's still sludgy. I'm trying to get it cleaned out because the calves are still in here. It's unhealthy for them to have all this dampness, and their pen needs cleaned. Luna's going to give birth any time in the next 9 days. So I figured I better clean up the birthing pen, which we'd had, Mabel had given birth to Ganymede in a couple weeks back. And we put Dulcie in here temporarily the other day when she was not feeling well. We were deciding to cull her. So yeah, the barn needs a good old clean out. That's what I'm doing. Hopefully it's going pretty good. I'm not gonna do a super thorough job, only because I got so much other stuff I'm backed up on, and I got to get to working on the baler. I'm almost done with it. Still waiting on some tines. Get these calf pens dressed up, rebedded. It's soon time for little snipes to go outside. Anyway, you don't need to see me shoveling SH1T, so let's get to look at my ugly mug. I want to get that pile moved out of there between the standpipe and the blocks, because that is the entrance to the road behind the barn, and get that manure out of here. I can start stacking bales in the back corner. Just returning from grass measuring at the silage fields. I was working on the baler all day. in the heat, and I was waiting till temperature and the humidity broke, and it was about 7 o'clock. So it's about 8:15 right now. And grass is growing, but we could use the rain from this thunderstorm that's threatening us right now. And I sure would have started to feel some drops, but sure would be nice if the sky would open up and get a ½ inch or so, because everything is dry. And the silage fields, I haven't been back there for 2 weeks. They're not growing. You could harvest them now, but they really need to green up a bit with some rain. Anyway, it was nice to do all that walking when it wasn't so hot. Does mean we're milking the cows real late, though. Not very often when I'm letting out the cows, when I look out and calmly see everybody eating silage with the rail. Except for Nell. I guess Nell's chewing a cud. But a calm barn is a good barn. How about this? Donna, come on, darling. I don't want to see that. Out you go. Come on, all the way out, Stevie. Ha, bye, ha. Good job. Well, I wasn't expecting to find this. Came out to feed the calves their evening milk and came upon this. Yeah, that piglet drowned in a bucket. I'm out here in the field setting up lines this morning. Saturday morning, 2nd August. We're running really late. Allison made cheese last night, got delayed, didn't get in till 2:30 in the morning this morning. We decided to work with the dogs this morning, which was, given the time, probably not the best thing to do, but it worked out really well. We've got Molly working off leash now, and I didn't have my camera with me, I didn't have my phone with me, so we didn't get a photo of all the cows and the dogs together down by the new slab, which is just, I was telling Allison again this morning how much of a difference it's made to have that slab outside the barn so we can feed the cows on it. So they're down there eating silage right now while they're waiting to be milked. I'm out here giving them a half. Ground is rock hard because we didn't have any rain. We had ½ inch of rain the other day, but soaked right in and disappeared. Now we got 8, 9, 10 days of no rain. So hopefully it does a little good to regenerate and grow the grass that's coming up behind. So I'm just setting up this. I had to jump the island, so I gave them a little bit more grass than I would have normally, because they were also restricted yesterday because the island was in the way and the heifers were out here. So when heifers are here, I can't. I've lost some reels. They're set up down in the forest more or less semi-permanently at the moment. Otherwise I would have just stretched a new reel across, got it set up, and then removed this one to jump the island. But heifers were pressuring me something fierce yesterday, so I just looped it around the island. So we'll give them this. We let them out basically 20, whenever they're not being milked, they have access to the pasture. What I'm not doing is moving the line twice a day. I'm only giving them, let's see, normally I give them 6 paces twice a day, depending on grass growth. Right now I'm giving them 6 paces more or less once a day. Cows are coming in, eating this during the day. The hottest part of the day, they're either up resting in the shade or in the barn, eating silage. And just buffer feeding them that way is going to mean that every day that they're not blitzing through this grass, it's growing at the end of the field. Especially now we had that little bit of rain. I didn't get any fertilizer put out last time because we didn't have any rain, and it started raining in the middle of the night. I wasn't actually expecting the rain. And the last few times it's forecasted to be raining when I would have maybe spread fertilizer. We only got a few drops and it didn't rain, so I'm glad I didn't waste the fertilizer those times. So it's sort of one of those things, I'll believe it's going to rain these days when I see it. So didn't get fertilizer out. I'm gonna have to this next time because it's just stalled. Everything is stalled because of the temperature and the lack of moisture. Now, I would have spread manure out here, but the spreader's dead. And in fact, I was moving lines yesterday morning and found parts of the manure spreader in the field. Parts that won't ever go back. That thing's dead. So I got to come up with a better solution for that. Where was I going with this? Oh, a mineral bar. A month ago I put out, last two rotations ago, I put out Redmond garlic mineral salt. Supposed to help control the flies. We're also using predatory wasps to help control the flies this year. We haven't had a problem with flies until this week, which has been now, cows came out of this field and have gone down through the forest. So it's been 10 days when they haven't had access to the mineral bar. And I guess that matters because not only have they just nailed what was left of the mineral salt, they're not using the normal mineral salt that's in the mineral bar. They're only preferring the garlic salt, which helps with flies, and the predatory wasps help with flies. We're about to get a new batch of predatory wasps, and I'm gonna go, next time I go get feed, I'll get the mineral salt, the garlic salt, because the flies have ramped up. In the parlor, it's a nightmare because they're kicking at them all the time, kicking the clusters off when they're milking. So it's got to be a large part of it is because they're out of mineral salt, and that garlic helps. As if losing one track off the skid steer 2 days ago wasn't bad enough, getting it back on and losing the other track within 10 minutes is pretty worse. I had a lot of work I wanted to do with the skid steer today. Fighting one track, I could have done it. Fighting two, I gotta find a solution to why these tracks keep popping off. They were tensioned correctly. So are the tracks worn out? Are they just stretched beyond functionality? I don't know, but it's getting old fast.
Okay, go forward.
Headed out, but mowing. All right, I'm going to our farthest away fields over in Thomaston to cut 25 acres. Last year I did it in 3 stages. I kind of cut 12 and then a 10 and a 6 or something like that. This year it's so late. I actually cut it later last year. I cut it around the 16th of August. Today's the 3rd. I know because I took a break when my grandson's birthday later in the month happened, and we let some of the field go to hay. I think this year we're taking it almost all as hay. We've got a week of good solid weather. It's Monday today. I've got a dental appointment tomorrow, which means it's right smack in the middle of the day, and travel time is involved, so I won't be able to easily do anything over there in the morning, and then after my appointment, God knows how I'll feel and what they got to do to my tooth. So I'm not actually thinking I'll be much functional. Plus there's milking and stuff. I may try to move some equipment over there tomorrow in the morning, just so it's there for Wednesday. And then Wednesday I'm going to rake everything if I can, and bale some, and then we'll finish baling on Thursday. My buddy Greg's going to help me collect and wrap bales. So this is our farthest away field. I'd much rather be doing some closer fields, especially since I only just got the baler fixed, and I haven't tried it in the field yet, but it is what it is. I got another 20 acres I just picked up that I'm going to do here, close local. Probably at the end of the week. And then I've got 10 acres to do in Cushing beginning of next week. He kind of wanted that later and then I got to start second cut. So I'm not running the baler for a month pretty much while I was repairing it. It's really set me back, and now I'm pushing up against second cut and delayed second cut on some of the first cut fields. And the first cut is just gone horrible. It's just rank. So hay, and we'll just use it to feed the dry cows and the calves and heifers over the winter. Everything will get wrapped though. So I gotta drag tomorrow the thing. What I'll do is I'll bring the wrapper and the rake over on the flatbed trailer. So I have those things all there. It's just one trip to get 3 things over there. If I can, I'd like to be able to mow and finish today so I can bring the mower back. See how it goes. I have not driven this road with the mower. And wow. I've said before, like the other day when I was bringing Dulcie to the slaughterhouse, this road is rough, but man, the mower really throws the tractor out of whack on this road. I gotta be careful. Fortunately, I'm about to switch to a better road. And it's a long way over there. Here, finally, the road was blocked by a mobile home that had slid off the road. They were trying to turn a corner with it to get it up a driveway, and oh whoops, I gotta open the valve. Anyway, I was sat there for like 10 minutes. Not happy about that. So I'm over here mowing. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds around the field. Grass is thick and tall, but 90% of it's gone by. There's a lot of regrowth coming up from the bottom, which is good. As they say, this will feed something, not dairy. Won't feed dairy cows, lactating dairy cows, but it'll feed dry cows, it'll feed beef critters, it'll feed the calves over the winter. And I'm also splitting this, the hay that we get out of here with my buddy Greg. So these fields are rough and they're full of fissures and ditches, and so this first bit that I'm cutting here is 6 acres. we'll see how long it takes. I've been at this for 25, 30 minutes already. Just see how we do. I'd like to get it all cut today, so I don't have to bring the mower back. And like I said, unless Allison does the milking tomorrow and I get over here first thing and do a little bit of mowing right away and then leave. Yeah, I don't know. Just because of where it's at and the timing, and because Greg can only give me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoons to help wrap bales, and we have to wrap them here. We can't try hauling them back. It's a 40-minute trip by tractor to get back to the farm, so they got to be wrapped here. And the wrapper is slow, and we got to bring all the bales over to the wrapper. So it just makes sense this time to, and we got to wrap everything. I have to wrap everything because don't have barn storage for hay, and I'm not convinced. I mean, it's 85 today, but humid. Going to be in the 80s tomorrow and the next couple days, so I think we'll dry down rapidly, but I'm not going to tent this. I don't. The tedder that I share with a different fella is fragile, and I'd rather keep it in excellent working condition because he does need dry hay, and he's got 20 acres, so and it's also hard to transport. I'd have to put it on the trailer and bring it over by itself. So I don't want to do that. I could flip the hay bob over to tedding mode, but honestly, I have to reserve its power and its usefulness for raking, because we haven't got the new rake yet, because as much as I've been looking and trying to get a rotary rake, without a truck to go pick one up, I have a little bit of a hard time finding one in an area where I could get it with a tractor or have it delivered. And plus we were waiting for some finances to get worked out, so we're still trying to buy the farm. I guess say we don't need a rake if we don't have a farm. Anyway, so we got to get the farm first. The one thing I will say, there we go. This mower is not, the combination of the mower and the tractor is not precise when I lift it up and set it back down. It doesn't always go back to the same spot. And that is a little bit frustrating because I gotta pay way too much attention looking over my shoulder in a blind spot that I just can't quite see to look at where the mower's set. So that will slow me down today because there's a lot of turns, a lot of lifting the mower up out of the ground, off the ground. So anyway, I'm just gonna set to. We've got about a third of the field mowed, and we're just gonna make this happen. Well, I brought drinks. I didn't bring any snacks. I'm really regretting that choice. I thought, well, I just ate lunch, so 5 hours over here isn't that big a deal, but I meant to grab snacks. Farmers run on snacks. Well, it's just gone 4 o'clock, and I'm about halfway done. I've got a couple more passes of this second field I'm mowing done. But as you can see from the camera waving around, it is bumpy, and it's kind of bowl-shaped. But it's also got, so it's got 2 hills. It goes down to the river. I'm about to head down the hill now. And then it goes back up into a bowl. It's really a mess. You can't see on the camera because it's diving. That's the river right there. Don't want to go that far. And coming back up here, this is all slope, and then it goes down into a bowl coming up the other direction. So there's not a level spot in this entire field. It's really steep right there. Going downhill. There's a bale over there that a previous farmer left behind because he couldn't get to it because it's just down in a hole. And we come back up here. And that's what I've cut so far. All right, mission not accomplished. I got all 3 fields mowed and didn't get the 4th field mowed. I forgot to turn on, I was gonna track, I was using GPS which they just added for the tractor GPS app. I normally don't use it when I'm mowing, but they've added an offset for the mower. That just appeared when I was messing around with it. I figured I would just do the perimeter of the fields to know, because I only have Google Earth's estimates of the size of these fields, not just by drawing a line around them, not as I mow them. So I thought I'd do the perimeters, but I forgot to do the first 2 fields. Somehow I didn't have it turned on right and didn't get them tracked. I think they're both about 6 acres. And maybe I'll do that tomorrow when I'm raking, or Wednesday. And I did the big field, the portion of the big field, because the ravines are just so nasty. I had to cut, it's probably a 10-acre field. I only did about 7 acres. And I just did, I did about 2 acres in the final field. And I'm going to have to come back tomorrow afternoon and finish mowing. Not only is it 7:30 and I got to get back to milk, but relate milk. I also am almost out of fuel. So I don't know why I thought that I could get it done in one day. I mean, it would have helped if I hadn't had to sit there for 20 minutes in traffic. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, get onto Route 1 and get home.